I always talk about before Beverly had the measles versus what it was like after. And it was like losing a child. So we were 18 months apart. We are 18 months apart. She's still alive. What happened was she got a really high fever and they couldn't take it down. They put her in a bathtub of ice. And my mother said that on the way to the hospital, Beverly's head was in her lap and she was doing the itsy bitsy spider went up and Beverly was doing it with her. And then all of a sudden she wasn't and she slipped into a coma. And that was the last time we ever knew her as Beverly. She was in that coma for so long. And I remember my aunt took me down there and we walked up an outside staircase with me under her coat to sneak me in there to see if I could wake her up because we were so close and I couldn't wake her up. And she was in a coma almost 6 months. I mean, it was a very long time. The phone call came, she's awake, she's awake. And then the reality set in of what we were dealing with, what was going to be her life. She was still able to walk at that point, but she didn't know any of us. There was no cognitive ability, no thinking, no, there was never anybody home. Eventually, they had to put her, in an institution. She stopped eating. Um, she stopped talking. Now she's much more involuntary movements. She hasn't spoken. She can't walk or talk. She's not a vegetable, but pretty darn close to one. And you know, I've read so many different, reincarnation and all this spiritual stuff, trying to figure out what the hell, is it random? Was there something she needs to learn before she goes? Every time I get a phone call from the nursing home where she lives, I pray they tell me she's gone, that she's escaped this prison that she's in. I have to visit at least once a year because I'm her guardian, but I usually go a few times a year and it's awful. I have to make myself do it. I sit in the parking lot and bribe myself that I will go in there, I will do this. You asked me what impact was it. I have always been jealous of people, of women who had a sister that they were close to. Always. Um, I would say, what would it be like to have a sister? Somebody that understood, that grew up like you did, that understood things from the same